Everyone, Jeep Life Podcast live edition. Where we're recording
Live.
So did you see the release? Midland's release?
Yes, I did. That's pretty awesome.
Getting in line.
Yep. Get in line online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And we are, obviously on Mondays, most of the time in the evening, we record and
Or Tuesday or
whenever.
Whatever day
Sunday.
we can.
Right.
Yeah, whenever life isn't getting in the way.
Life always gets in the way, man.
And it does.
Or
Yeah.
we're screwing off.
Yeah.
Or just life.
Yeah.
Life.
Living life.
Life.
Yeah.
There, Mikey G. First one on. I appreciate that. What's up, Josh? How you doing? It's so cool that we've got an online community that joins us.
Somehow returns week after week. Somehow. Oh, my bad.
So I'm double checking right now.
I mean,
I'm muted. This is like the third time we've said it.
yeah, that it wasn't like the first time.
Well, we're doing important stuff. I mean,
Checking other social medias.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's riveting here before we get into the actual meat of the show. But it's good to see those numbers going up and life is good. Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about that little announcement of the radio. Because I saw it and you saw it pre-launch.
So Midland released their newest handheld radio, which is the GXT67,
Yeah.
and it is
They're real creative with those names.
yeah. Well, it's because it's the handheld and it's IP67 rated, so it's waterproof, dustproof, really rugged radio. It's a 5-watt radio, so it's a lot
of power.
stronger, a
Yep.
lot more powerful.
well, hold on. So rumor has it if you hook up a Milwaukee 9.0 battery to it, you get 50 watts out of it.
Jeez, don't do that. But it is, really rugged, ready to go. It's a programmable radio.
Yep.
And
Repeater capable.
yep, it's a great radio, really loud. So
the
you
screen is great on it
Yep.
too for those blind people like me.
Yep.
You can
big screen,
Yep.
great accessories, comes with a charger, everything you need, and a really nice clip to hook it onto your jacket or whatever. I would say it's a great radio. I've used it. I love it. I'm buying one.
It's kind of cool to clip to your seatbelt
Yeah.
when you're riding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to reach out. You can just.
Mm-hmm.
It is a cool radio.
Yeah, my current radios, which are mediocre at best, the clip doesn't sit on my seatbelt. It's too
Are those?
Yeah.
Are you
flimsy.
still using those Beowulfs?
Beowfangs, yeah, Beowulfs.
You need to get
Yeah.
away from those.
Do you know they
I'm
cause?
working on
You
it.
know you're getting brain
Oh,
cancer every time you're.
Dude, there's so many things that I'm getting cancer from. I just literally inject cancer.
Fair enough.
So they start at $199.99.
That for the radio that it
$200
is,
for the
that's
radio.
that's
It's
a
a great radio.
substantial radio for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What really cool is our good friend Eric is like their GQ model.
I know.
Him
He
and
looked-
his little Jeep.
He looked pretty authoritative in that.
100%.
Yeah, man. Like he commanded that.
He was doing
he did.
some
Yeah,
good work.
yeah. He's got a couple of shots in there, and it looks.
Well, he's
good.
photogenic, and the Jeep is too.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
and it was fun to be out at Moab with him, and while those were being taken by our good friend Matt Corbin.
He's definitely cute.
I mean, let's call it what it is. I'm
Seriously.
jumping in there when if the
jeez.
water is open, I'm jumping in. If there's a lock on the gate, I guess I'll wait my turn. But
Jeep life, no life.
No, right? All right. Let's go ahead and jump on in there. I think it's it's Monday night. I'm ready to get rolling and done. Oh, it looks like our co-host Jetty Jason.
He did make it. Look at
He
that.
did make it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready. I'm gonna push the button. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Live podcast. We are proudly presented by Armorlite, the toughest flooring on the trail. Those guys and gals at Armorlite take really good care of us in the industry. They just came out with the new Bronco flooring, and I can't wait to get my hands on that so that I don't have to deal with the crappy carpets in the Bronco.
I heard it's a lot more intense of a process to install.
Is it?
I heard it's like you need to take everything out.
Well, I'm getting ready to install Lexi's in her Jeep.
Well, that's
I'm-
JKs are like
I'm going to take everything out.
10 times easier than the TJ, and
I thought the TJ was super easy
Oh,
once we
no.
got all the bolts out.
Oh yeah, well you got to take out everything.
All the rusted bolts and the console
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah. But man, we're so thankful and grateful that they've been with us from the beginning and we've been with them. Our listeners get an exclusive power tank discount, Armorlite discount, Jeep Live Podcast 10 for a complete Armorlite system at goarmorlite.com. The toughest flooring on the trail. You get it from us. I and Jeep and Terry.
I'm Breakabilly.
Jetty Jason
No, you're not. You're Dr. Don.
sitting in the wrong chair.
No, that is your chair.
Yeah, it's always been this chair, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
the Dr. Don chair.
Dude, I am so excited that you're in the studio.
Yeah.
Jetty Jason just neglected to tell us that, I'm not going to be here.
He was. We were like, where
Actually,
are you
he
at?
replied at like 5 of his 6 and said he'd be here.
I know.
He's in Michigan right now on a work assignment, and I think he's still showing up. Maybe I don't know.
No, I don't know. I didn't send him the link to show up, so
We said we would do this, and we've never done it.
I know. Right. So when somebody's traveling, we should be able to lock them in like we do our interviews.
That'd be fun, but none of us go anywhere fun except for you.
Yeah.
And he controls everything.
And I
so-
control everything.
Right.
So I know the show I leave behind when
Yes.
when you guys are when
Oh.
I'm not here. So it's going to be difficult to have without our newest Jetty Jason, but we're gonna
We'll
survive.
power on.
This week, has anybody done anything cool? I broke my antenna
You broke your antenna, and then we drilled through your antenna.
all the way through. It's just gonna have to be completely replaced.
Yeah. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. I don't
The
use it.
stub broke off inside the threads. We were screwed.
Yeah, we were screwed from the beginning.
Yep.
I spent like 45 minutes on what should have been a 3-minute job.
Yeah, unscrew,
Yeah.
rescrew, done. And then he brought it over to my over here,
Yeah.
and I drilled through, and it just didn't. No.
So wait, the stud on the vehicle broke off inside the antenna?
No.
other way around.
Other way
the
around.
Stud on the
On the
antenna
antenna,
broke
I mean,
off.
in the
Yeah.
Broke into the.
All right. So, years ago, I took the big flimsy silver
Yeah.
antenna off. I don't use terrestrial radio. I mean, even when
Terrestrial radio. You mean like regular
AM,
radio?
FM radio is
AM.
called terrestrial radio.
Oh, okay.
From the beginning, I haven't used that. Even, in the beginning, I had the Sirius XM subscription for
So you're
free for the first
you're
year.
fancy. You're a fancy radio guy.
I don't listen to radio. I listen to my music, the music I want to hear.
Okay.
And so I switched it out to one of the little antennas just to get rid of it. I never used it. I didn't care what the antenna actually gave me any reception.
Which was none. I've tried it.
Yeah, right, exactly, because you've had my vehicle for a
Yes.
while, and it just I had no interest in that. This last trail ride, a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you snapped your
Snapped
antenna.
antenna off, and I order one on Amazon. It comes. I go out finally a day that it's not raining.
Yep.
So I go out and I
We're
go
in the
to undo it,
monsoon season here in Pennsylvania.
and I literally am unscrewing and unscrewing and unscrewing, and I'm like, what the hell? And so I look down inside, and it's just all powdery, rusty, coal dust. So I
Yeah.
pull out the Master Blaster. I pulled out my power tank and blew down in there. Dust went flying, and I could see that the capture that's melted into it when it's
Yep.
made was just spinning. So
Yeah.
I could have spun for another 6 weeks and nothing would happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. So I cut everything down thinking I would just grab that and twist it. And
And then that just broke off.
that just broke off. And so the stud that it comes out of the little antenna broke off. And now we drilled it out. We've got a hole down through it.
Yeah.
And
I was going to retap it, but then the taps
All right.
weren't.
So I have a question and a statement.
yeah.
What do you want first?
Go ahead and do the statement. I'm a big boy. I can
He
handle
should
it.
have just replaced it from the beginning.
No. How comes every time something's broken your Jeep, the first tool you get out is the power tank? It doesn't matter what it is. He's gonna fix it with the power.
I got to
tank.
Master Blast it. Master Blaster.
Well, I've been conditioned. But that's the
Yeah.
way to fix everything.
Get the power tank.
Scott Emmerman says,
He's setting presets in the radio, and he gets the power tank out.
well, get all the dust out
He's
of
got
the
to
way.
rub it a few times.
It's a really, really, that's the best question you've asked in 6 years of podcasting.
So actually, it's two questions. So
All right.
there's
All
another
right, so
follow-up.
There's a
here's the
follow-up.
next one.
So did you buy that antenna on Amazon?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Where else are
Oh,
you
yeah.
going to buy a little shitty 7-inch antenna?
Fair enough.
I
All
mean,
right. It's,
I mean,
did it come with a warning? Do not leave screwed in for more than 3 months.
every 3 months,
You gotta
unscrew
rotate it.
Unscrew and rescrew.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do this time. I'm gonna spray it down with some PB Blaster.
Just use anti-seize.
Yeah, anything.
No, anti-seize gets
Anti-seize-
all like that shit's
But
deadly.
I'll
It
be
gets
wearing.
I know.
I'll
I've
be
been
wearing
using
that
on your
for.
I've been
fingers and
using
it's-
it, and
yeah.
it's like everywhere.
I'll be wearing it for months. So
I'm the Silver Surfer over here, man.
so now I have to take the whole effing unit off
yeah.
and get a
Oh,
new
yeah,
one
you
of
do.
those.
And you know that'll be like $340 at the Jeep dealer. And to boot, there'll be none in this country. They're gonna have to bring it in from China,
No kidding.
which is where your antenna came from.
Yep.
Which is interesting because I left here because at some point I'm just like this is beyond my skill set. My blister on my finger came through.
Oh my God, cry me a river.
I literally was sitting on the side of the road beside my Jeep crying. And I was like, I gotta go over to see Billy. And so I come over, and the first thing he does is bring out a big hammer. I'm like, wait a minute.
And then the
I brought
grinder.
out- I
then the
brought out a-
grinder.
I brought out the power tank first.
And then I
this guy
grabbed the
brings-
grinder. And then I grabbed the drill. And then I drilled. And then it didn't work.
And then it was over.
Then it didn't work.
Then we both sat down, started crying,
No, I was just like, hey.
and held each other.
I got stuff to go do.
I got more important things than your.
You're more than welcome to join
So
me.
see, this has gotten to be a real big headache. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave now.
But really, that's kind of how I was. I was like, no. See ya.
Well, I estimated a full 10 minutes.
He said 10 minutes.
Dave-
we tried
Dave-
for 20.
Dave Detzel, this is great. Nothing simple other than us boys.
Yeah, right. It was one little, and this is a lot of the reasons why I'm hesitant of doing work on my own Jeep, because every time
Every time I work on it, too, there's a freaking problem.
I know, I'm just gonna sell it. Matter of fact, yeah,
That's coming up later.
It-
We'll discuss that.
right.
We'll talk about that later.
So that was my antenna is
Yeah.
got a hole in it. I haven't sourced the other parts yet. That's my Jeeping extravaganza. Although the top is down and has been for 2 days,
Yeah.
that's nice.
I pulled out some logs or stumps or whatever you want with my winch. And then I did some urban rock mudding. And then I went on the Jeep Enthusiast go topless day that we couldn't take our tops off.
I know because it was raining.
It was very.
That was a
much
good
raining.
time. Well, we got to jump in with Josh. He bought an Amazon antenna, and it broke while trying to install it. Had to drill it out. So any recommendations on one that wouldn't have issues beside the stock fishing pole?
I don't know.
No.
No, they all suck.
They all suck equally. Oh, my God. This is I love that. Keep it coming. This is great. So about the Go Topless Day.
Yeah,
It's
so,
a nationwide event. And everybody that I saw was complaining about rain as well.
Well, I mean, it was a storm that was rolling through, and it was supposed to be like just from 10 to 1 or 10 to 2 or whatever. I don't know. And it was supposed to be gone, and then it just continued to rain all day.
Yeah. It literally, they said, "Oh, it's going to stop within an hour of us getting there."
It'll be gone. No.
No. It was, yeah.
So we had a lot of easy up tents and
and I was still soaking wet and
a
cold
lot
for the
of
rest of the
yeah.
day. All right, Dr. Don,
What's up?
are you done any jeeping type stuff?
I did LMTV stuff.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny because I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't have time right now. But I did turn on one of the Avengers. I think it was Endgame, the last one. And in the very last scene, there's Captain America's going back in time to take all the Infinity Stones back. What do I see in the background?
LMTV.
And the LMTV.
LMTV.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I've read every last article that's been printed on the internet. I can tell you every last thing about it. So.
yeah, I can tell you everything, the last thing about that particular one because I've felt every.
Don wants one
I
in
know.
the worst way. So if you have one, anybody out there
Yeah.
wants to donate one to
Not
Don,
as excited as they are a little bit problematic.
Yeah,
they're
tell me about it.
gigundo.
Yes. So it is not. We'll get into it another time, but there's a unique history behind it when you dig deep. There's
Yeah.
some. There was a lot of input from a big truck builder overseas, and
Yeah.
but mechanically, like when you get down to it, the idea of it was phenomenal. Like
Yep.
the drivetrain
Yep.
is like way beyond anything that's even remotely like it is cool.
It is. It is
So,
very cool. It's
yeah.
it's an all-time four-wheel drive, or it's.
So it's a 70-30 split.
Yep.
And then you can put it in, as my students call it, beach mode.
right.
So that's hit the mode button, goes into four-wheel drive, and you hit
Yep.
the beach button, and the tire's lower. But anyway, what's cool about it is it has the planetary gear sets at the end of the axles.
Oh.
And so the reason they do this is because you don't need lockers then. If you are going straight ahead,
Right.
it's all four
All-
digging.
All four, all
Because
go.
when you got something that big and that heavy, if you're on rock or something like that, you turn it,
It's-
it's locked, it's gonna
Yeah.
do some damage.
yeah.
Especially with 890 foot-pounds of torque and the Caterpillar engine that it has. So
Yep.
like
And then put
Right.
that with 20,000.
pounds
of
yes,
dry.
and
That-
44-inch
Right,
tires. I mean,
right.
it's gonna tear them apart. So
Yep.
they put the planetary gears out at the end. They got this transfer case that does a split. It's got a Caterpillar engine that's came with the D11 or D13.
Just chugs along.
I should have one.
And
I'm
it,
probably gonna
it's
live out of one one
turbocharged.
day.
So I mean, you
Yes.
can hear the
And
turbo
there's
spin up.
nothing cooler than sitting in the cab over. Like that is just the coolest thing in the world. Yeah.
Well,
So-
it is. It is until it starts raining, and there's two problems with that particular LMTV.
Well, there's a big gap.
There's a big gap in the driver's side door. It's like an inch that you can see through
and
between the
and it's
seal.
not anything that's happened. I think it's how the truck's been made. Because I try to look, and there's no adjusting that door.
Oh,
No, and then the other is it has 3 wipers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a triple wiper, but so this one lived in the desert
yeah.
or has been just parked, so it hasn't needed to really been driven.
So it doesn't have new wipers.
Doesn't have new wipers, and the wiper it's on the
What
the stick.
size wiper
So,
is it?
okay,
And
that is
I
like
had
really
to literally
guess.
I had to crank on it just to turn it one click to get the wipers to come on.
Now that's not the original steering wheel either. So if you're palming the steering wheel, turning it, you're gonna take the stalk right out.
Dude, and there's a cup holder that's mounted to the door there too,
Yes.
and that's not original
No.
either, but it's metal, and I've got cuts and stuff on my knuckles where, you know, swinging it around.
Yes.
I've literally had to change my driving habits when I drive it. And
But
then
it is freaking
It is cool.
Yeah.
So now you get to drive it to Wildwood.
So now it's we've got, I think we're leak free.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yep.
Ah,
Yep,
congratulations.
for the most part.
For the most part.
There may be a drop here or there, but you're not going to lose half a diff from
Dude,
Florida to here.
the diffs alone hold 5.5 gallons of
Yes,
gear
they're-
oil.
It's massive amounts. I mean, they were low, and it still took more than, like, if you combine any two Jeeps.
All of it.
All of it.
All
All
four
of it,
axles.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
it took that plus more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the way up. I knew that it had a diff leak, and the whole time I'm like, if I see like 10 drops, but at any given stop for, you know, like an overnight stop, that I was literally going to go and buy 5 gallons worth of gear oil and put it in.
The center sections are huge. They're massive.
They really
So-
are.
Oh, you're working on it in the diesel shop?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been pulled in there and parked.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you. Tell the owners thank you.
we'll do.
We've thoroughly
The-
enjoyed it.
They actually love the fact that it's getting used in that way.
Yep.
And what's really cool is there's a whole set of students now that, you know, Oracle Lighting is like going to be the
Yes.
first thought they come to when they're adding,
Yes.
you know, aftermarket
Yeah.
lighting,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yep.
So that's a lot of fun, and thanks for taking care of.
Oh yeah, it's
that big
been
guy.
a hit. Like every kid, we have kids coming in from like other schools. Can we see that youth thing? No, you got to be part of this school. Go away.
It doesn't matter who you are. If that thing is near you, you're breaking your neck. I watched 80-year-old women break their neck trying to get all of it in.
So
and look at it.
it was done very well. Like if you see a military spec one, I appreciate it, but I
Yeah.
don't think a whole lot of people will.
Yeah.
The paint, the wrap, everything was done
Yeah.
really well. Like the interior, everything is just
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah, when
They
I
did a
when I
nice
pulled
job.
where I pulled in Tennessee somewhere, and I had to, you know, do a show of it. I had to, you know, give a tour of it,
Right.
and I open up the back. 'Cause to get in, you have to do a rain dance to get in the back because you have to take the stairs
Holy
off.
And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm going to climb up here and
It's-
open it. And I
no,
was like
no, no.
falling off the back.
And so it's a rain dance to get in the thing, and then we've got rails for the stairs because you know.
Right. You
Not
need railings.
it needs railings, and I get in, and like every drawer was open,
Yeah.
every cabinet door was open, everything was just hanging out, and I was like, I knew this wasn't a smooth ride, but damn, everything was everywhere, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you that silver truck in South Carolina is the reason for
Had
majority
half
of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking I'm buying one with the box, right?
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
gonna convert it into a motorhome. We should be able to tow a big enough trailer to put your Jeep on
Yep.
and my rock
And
bouncer
eight other Jeeps,
and 8
behind.
other Jeeps, and we're going wheeling, man.
Okay.
And we've got a recovery vehicle. That winch works in the front and the back. And if the trails are too small, it's okay.
right, right.
He'll motor through them.
It-
It doesn't matter.
That is, I don't give a
hoop.
right.
Yeah.
It's full send
Yeah.
over anything.
Yeah, so that one's been re-geared. You have to
Okay.
re-gear them from the military. They're 50 miles an hour flat out. So that
Okay.
one's been re-geared, and it's got the I forget what they call the gears, but I think they're 307s. We counted them.
Yeah, nice.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it downhill. It'll do up to 73 miles an hour.
All right, so
and
we got to
that's
put
scary.
the taller, another gear set in it.
I
little
think
more
she's
speed.
peaked. I think she's got
Really?
yeah. So
Yeah.
next
That's it.
is I've been reading. You can tune those diesels.
Ooh,
So
here we go.
Yeah, in time.
Terry's gonna be
I
double
am-
clutching.
I am
short
still-
shifted.
Can we
smoke
jack up
proof.
the rear end and lower the front end?
I am still trying to find, somebody to talk to live that so see what kind of equipment they're using and if I can get a hold of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
tuning a D13?
We have
Yeah, you get about it. You don't get a whole lot more horsepower out of them.
But it's the torque.
You're supposed to go from 890 to like 1,200 foot-pounds of torque.
There you go. That's
Yeah,
what you need.
That's what done.
Then you really won't be able to stop it.
And that Allison transmission,
Oh.
wow, is that beastly. Like you're slowing down. It's like
You're barking the tires.
yeah,
when
and
it
all
gears
I
down.
did was went up and I had to turn around to
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
it in the diesel because
Yeah.
there just wasn't enough room with
Yeah.
the other trucks. So I
Yeah.
go up in the parking lot and I turn around and I come back down. And as I come in, I'm starting to turn it left to come in the shop, and it downshifts into first, like burp, burp, burp.
First time that happened to me, everything that wasn't behind the seats or
Yeah,
strapped
yeah.
down in the cab, including me, was plastered against the windshield.
Yes, I was like, "Wow, is that a hell of a shift kit?" And they didn't put accumulators in those Allisons.
No.
There's no goddamn way.
No.
No.
So just if you're just joining us, this is the LMTV Life podcast.
No, we're no longer. It's not Jeeps anymore.
No, we've given up on Jeeps. We've gone into LMTVs and
So
and backing
anyway,
those
thank you, Oracle. The kids love it. They're having a blast. They're learning. We fixed a few things. We took the carabiner that was holding the spare tire on, the plastic one.
Oh,
off
yeah,
and
yeah,
put
yeah.
an actual chain link
Yeah.
on there.
there is some gum holding that thing together.
Well,
I mean, there's some
think
bubble
that
gum
one,
and duct
I think
tape.
that so probably got lost, or somebody was like, "Well, it's just in a pinch," and then forgot about
Yeah.
it. But it was
Happens.
like one of those carabiners that you put in your.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
We
right.
should probably change
Not
it.
for climbing.
Yes,
Well,
or
it-
300-pound tires.
or a 300-pound person
Yeah.
rappelling off a cliff. I guarantee those tires are more than the tires themselves are probably 300 or 400 pounds, and then the wheels
Easily,
probably
yeah.
another 300 or 400 pounds,
Yeah.
right? What's coming up on this episode? We're going to talk about Jeeps. We are, I promise. Besides wheeling, what is your top 3 things to do with your Jeep?
Are we doing that now?
No, it's
Oh,
coming up
damn.
later in the episode. But for now, we've got some listener input, and we've been asking for it. And
Listeners,
You've
write
given
in.
it. yeah, you've given it to him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tyler, but I'm gonna butcher your last name.
Buhite.
Buick.
Buhite.
Oh, Buick.
Buick.
That
I think
makes
it's Buick.
way more sense.
Yeah, Tyler Buick.
He's from Facebook.
Yeah, that sounds German.
Yep.
So, just discovered the podcast from the Off-Road Podcast.
We're better.
Thanks a ton for providing some great content to listen to while I'm on the road away from home in my Jeep. Sending you a Jeep Wave from Worthington, Pennsylvania, near the Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival and the birthplace of the Jeep.
Cool.
Nice.
Huh, thanks,
I like
Tyler.
it, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tyler Ormond?
Ormond.
Ormond?
Or Buhite.
Or no, Tyler O from our email. Hey gents, attached is my Gladiator nickname for now, Sarge. I'm looking at lifts for it. Pretty much trying to decide if I should go with a 2.5 or a 3.5. On the JK, you need to change the drive shaft over 2.5 inches. Is that the same concept for the JLs, JTs? Appreciate the podcast and the help. All right.
So, I think they did away with the hoop.
They did away with the hoop, however.
but it's still there on the
yeah,
gas.
you're still
but
using
not
Rosetta
the-
joints as well at higher angles.
Right. Well, the Rosetta joints they'll do well. The issue is the clearance with the exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
So that crossover pipe that comes down the side. So the 3.6 would be the culprit for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if the diesel.
If you have money to spend, definitely do it. If not, just wait. See
Worst
if you
case.
have an
So
issue.
here's so worst case scenario.
Do it and see what bumps.
I mean, really.
Worst case scenario is what you're going to have is it won't let the suspension hang all the way down, and it just happens to be right where that little boot is, so it wipes that boot off.
Yeah.
So it gives you there's like a little visual that you have clearance issues.
Basically, try it. If you have interference, then you need a new drive shaft.
But I
there-
feel like
you-
I don't see that advertised with the
No.
JLs.
No.
So is that not an issue anymore?
It's really not that much of an issue as much.
So, I personally, all right, he's got a Gladiator, right? And 3.5 inches on a Gladiator is
It's
that's a nice
a
lift. But
hefty
the
lift.
ones that go up to 5 or 6 inches and throw those 40s on there, that's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
And then dump out your exhaust out the side of the truck and be done with it.
Exactly.
I've seen people do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks, Tyler. Lance from our website. We actually get traffic from our website, believe it or not.
Wow.
Gentlemen, I've been binge listening to the podcast at work and enjoying all the shows. Thanks for taking the time to put these podcasts out for all of us Jeep goobers out there. Dude, we're all Jeep.
We're goobers.
It's funny, not haha funny, but funny odd that the day I started experiencing death wobble, I'm assuming that's what DW means,
Yep.
was
death
the day
wobble.
before I got to the recent DW podcast, Death Wobble. I haven't experienced death wobble in more than a decade on my 97 TJ. The cause of mine was a track bar bracket that was actually pulling away from the frame.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll do more than just death wobble.
yeah.
I have my track bar bracket in the rear fall off and
You fall off. You rip that shit clean off.
clean off. The cause of mine was a track bar bracket. The factory welds had cracked, so
Ooh.
add that to the list. In the past, it was usually control arm related, bent OE stamped, or bad bushings. That'll do it too.
Mm-hmm.
If you did mention the brackets themselves, I apologize for mentioning it. I don't know that we did hit
I don't.
the bracket itself.
It's a great thing to add those brackets.
Yeah.
What?
Somebody wake Dr. Don up. It's as if Jetty Jason is here.
It's the chair, I'm telling you.
Anyway, great show. Just wanted to say hello and add to the discussion. Keep up the good work. And as I was typing this, you just mentioned that grease or spray isn't likely a good idea on battery terminals. I've used both for 27 years on my terminals and my TJ, and they look amazing. Everything functions great as well. Hell, I think I've done 2 alternators in 27 years. The OE alternator, and then I switched to a junkyard Durango high output alternator. Use that sprayer grease with no fear. Keep the terminals free of corrosion. Looking forward to more shows. Thanks again.
Well, actually, Lance, they make stuff for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That you
but-
don't have to use spray or grease.
Right. But it is.
Grease is for wheel bearings.
I think with that, you want to, and the point you kind of made was that keeps dust and dirt and stuff and grime from sticking to it. And
Well, the other issue is, and it depends, he's probably using a better grease, but if you use
Yeah.
garbage stuff, it actually heats up and melts down between the terminals.
okay, yeah.
And then it creates a voltage drop across the terminals, and then you know.
Right.
Yep.
you
I
have
think
issues, but-
what he's referring to is when we were talking about terminals in general, we said about using anything in general like dielectric grease.
I think we
um,
said to use dielectric grease on them.
Right, but I mean it should be cleaned first,
Yes.
put them together,
Yep.
and then the dielectric grease should
Yep.
go on top of the terminal. You shouldn't be putting it between like
So
the
there's
clamp.
solid metal on metal.
But even
Right,
if
you
you
want
do,
metal on metal
even if you
and
do
then
on the
it
top,
around.
and that's what I was saying, this brake quiet's the worst for it. Everybody sprays it because the battery stuff is the same color, so they assume
Yeah.
if you get the stuff from anyway, Permatex, it's the same color as this brake quiet. But the problem is the stuff literally seeps down in between the posts,
Oh, yeah.
and then you end up with voltage drop across the terminals.
So
Now,
there
if
is
he's
a,
using like a good grease or something like that, that was like the old hack
Yep.
way to do it, kind of.
Yep.
yeah.
But it's probably better quality stuff than it's keeping it from melting.
Yeah,
that's why
I'm
I
just
said that.
using, Crisco.
Yeah, but I don't put anything on my terminals.
Vegetable oil.
Just get them clean and
I just
and
maintain them.
Yep. maintain them. Perfect.
Extra virgin.
All right, Dave Crabtree.
And these from Spotify. Look at that. We got Spotify. Oh, by the way,
Isn't that Ukraine?
I don't know.
This episode is so good, fellas. I definitely needed some Jeep life this morning at work.
And he was talking about 2 episodes ago, I believe.
Mm.
And this review came straight out of an episode of on Spotify. But we are also now on Amazon. I figured that out. We were missing a whole
What were we missing?
Amazon. We weren't on Amazon.
Are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
You are slacking.
Dude, tell me about it. I'm embarrassed for me.
Do better.
So now they're listening to us in China.
But everybody, thank you so much for this input. We love it. If you got questions that you want us to answer, throw them out there.
Going back to Tyler. So that's what I was doing when I wasn't paying attention to you guys.
Yes.
There are issues with JL and JT, and it is not as much a clearance issue as the dry shaft not operating at the right angles. And that's right off of Tom Wood's website, so I
Yeah.
trust that source.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So
Yep.
to answer your question, yeah, go ahead and
Change
Put a Tom Woods in the front of that.
Do
Tom Woody.
Yep.
it. Do it. So we've got events that are coming out. Everybody sent in events, so it looks like we're busy, but we're just putting all the Jeeps
Heck yeah.
information out there. This is the Jeep Life Jeepin' Calendar.
June 7th to the 8th is the Bantam Jeep Festival in Butler, Pennsylvania, out in western Pennsylvania.
And as of today, I will be there.
Terry's going to be there. So stop by, get a selfie, say hi. He's going to be hanging
I'll
out.
probably have Jeep Life podcast stickers.
Heck yeah. June 13th to the 16th is Tennessee Trail Jam 2024 in Loretta Lynch's Ranch.
Yeah.
Sorry, Loretta
Lynn.
Ranch.
There is a Loretta Lynch, isn't there?
I don't know.
Not a famous one like Loretta Lynn.
There was too many letters, and my bad.
Yeah, no worries.
June 29th, Reclaim for First Responders event in Columbus, New Jersey, put on by the Pine Barrens Venom Jeep Club, and that's going to be given back to the first responders of the area. July 12th to the 14th is New Jersey Jeep Invasion in Wildwood, New Jersey. July 13th is New Jersey Jeep Invasion Light Party hosted by Oracle Lighting
Yeah.
at Cold Spring Brewery.
Two of my favorite things, lights and beers.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll be there. July 19th to the 20th is PA Allbridge Jeep Fest in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I won't.
Oh.
I'll be Bronk and Terry that
You're going to be
weekend.
Bronk and Terry that weekend. That's right. August 2nd to the 4th is Toledo Jeep Fest in Toledo, Ohio. August 22nd to the 24th is Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. August 25th is the Warren Trail Ride and Wind Rock at Wind Rock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
September 21st to the 22nd is Fall, New Jersey Jeep Invasion. October 19th is Crawling for Canines, and I will be leading the Black Red group, so head over to Crawling for Canines website, sign up, get your tickets, and yeah.
I think JD Jason will be leading the group as well.
Yes, he will be, and also I'll have Dr. Don as a passenger.
Nice.
What am I doing?
You're sitting passenger again.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Where?
Who cares?
Whatever. Just let me know when I got to be there.
Yeah.
Will do.
So that's our calendar as of now. If your place has a big enough event that you want to put it on our calendar, let's do it. Get
You
it on
know,
our calendar and let us know.
There's a lot of stuff that goes
I
on.
know where there's a guy who would be a professional driver for an Oracle LMTV to take it to all these things. He just is going to need, fuel money and
Yeah.
Hotel money.
I'll sleep in the back. I don't care.
I thought about that a lot. The back is capable of sleeping.
110%. Yeah.
You just fold down the seats in the
I
back
don't know, I'll
and lay
sleep
it
on
out.
the floor. I don't
There
mess
you
with
go.
seats. So.
Yeah.
It's the far nicer leather than I should be able to touch.
Yeah, no doubt. It is the whole interior's well done.
Yeah, they did a nice
Well
job.
done.
Yeah.
All right, well that's that, and that takes us to our main topic. And this was an interesting question that came up: is besides wheeling, what is the top 3 things you do with your Jeep? And what I thought we'd do is just do a little round robin. We just keep going around and
Okay.
and say our individual top 3, and maybe we'll comment about it, because most of the time we're just wheeling with our Jeeps.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's a very small percentage of what we do. That's
Yeah.
just the very intense part of that
Mhm.
we do. What, besides wheeling, one of the 3 things you do with your Jeep? Go ahead, break it.
Drive it to work to earn money to buy more Jeep parts.
There you go. Now, you've got a hell of a commute.
No, I just like driving my Jeep, man.
I know, right?
It doesn't matter where I'm going, what I'm doing. I just like driving my Jeep.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's stressful and a check engine light comes on, but I mean, and then I start
Yeah.
cursing at it. I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out what's going on wrong. But yeah, I do drive a lot.
Yeah.
But I like driving my Jeep. People are like, why do you drive that thing? I'm like, because I like driving it.
I know, right?
Also, it's a tank, and it just, mows through stuff.
I'm going to say that you're safer in it.
Usually.
Well,
Last year I hit
your
a deer.
behavior isn't safer, but
Last year
Yeah.
I hit a deer, and it was like a speed bump.
yeah,
It was like nothing.
and it did nothing to the vehicle.
No.
The only thing you had to do is spray it down.
And that was the most disgusting part of it all.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm with you.
I just like driving my Jeep.
Yeah. kudos to you.
Top on, top off, windows up, down, sideways, doors on, doors off, doesn't matter. Music on, cruising down the road in my 5.
I love it. Dr. Don, what about you? What's one of your top 3?
3 things to do with my Jeep.
Just give me one.
Sell it.
Just sell it, damn it. Light it on fire and roll it down the hill.
Rebuild it, start all over again. Burn that motherfucker down.
I literally watched Don on his computer just looking at ways to sell it.
He has been. He's
what
like,
avenues can
how
I
much
use?
money
Craigslist,
can I get
Facebook.
for it?
eBay.
Yeah.
Maximum amount of return on investment.
Put one of those Facebook ads out. Just getting feelers.
Don't lowball me. I know what I've got.
Yeah, right.
As it sits in the air with
45,000 or LMTV or trade for LMTV.
Oh, I love it. And he's serious, folks.
No,
If you-
he had dead serious.
Uh-huh.
Looking to sell it.
Info at jeeplifepodcast.com.
If you want to buy, if you want to buy Dr. Don's Jeep
44s front and rear.
in pieces, or he can
No,
finish
it's
it
actually
for
it's
you.
sitting on the ground.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
There has been things happen.
Is it on the
I've been working
frame
on
or
it.
is it?
It's literally
Sitting
just
on
on
its
the
side.
It's
the
on
lift
the under
broke.
brake.
Yeah.
Under brake. Oh, that's awesome. Well,
What about you, Terry?
I love to just walk away from it and turn around and look at it,
Oh, you're so.
and then take a picture
He's
of
such
it.
a romantic.
I am.
Such a girl. Oh, I like taking pictures of my Jeep.
That is it. I love looking and taking pictures of my
Lexi, get
Jeep.
out of the way.
Get out of
Lexi,
my.
you're in
Move it. You're in the shot.
I guarantee you, if I go to search on photos for Lexi and go to search in photos for Jeep,
There's more
there's
Jeep
more
photos.
Jeep photos than.
No, I'm with you. I love taking pictures
not
of my
listening,
Jeep.
Kid.
I turn around and take pictures of my Jeep all the time.
It just. I don't.
It's the only way I can remember what mine looks like. It shows because it's never out in the front.
Well, you see this picture? This is what
I
it
see
looks
you did
like.
there.
This is what it looks like, guys.
Yeah, there's usually some
People walking by, guys, want to see mine here? Look, I got pictures on my phone.
It's like he holds out a sign, free candy, and come with me,
Jeep's in the
kids.
back if you want to see it.
Oh,
Werther's.
yeah, right. Yeah, so photo. I like to photograph my Jeep.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. All right, what about you? What's number 2?
I like to work on my Jeep.
Yeah, you do.
I work on my Jeep a lot. One way or another, I'm usually wrenching, working, doing, cursing, bleeding,
Yeah.
something of the sort.
Is there there's very few parts on your Jeep that hasn't had some kind of disassemble.
Break, fix, repeat, do over again, blow up, fix again.
Yeah.
Everything's been touched. It's
Everything.
been molested.
Twice. Maybe 3. Depends what part of the Jeep.
Four
we're talking about.
times.
I was just going through all from bumper to bumper.
I've gotten the gears like 4 times in it.
Yeah.
Blew up pinion bearings, rebuilt the transfer case.
First person I ever met that spun his own axle shaft back.
with a sledgehammer in the garage.
Usually that gets sent to somebody, and it was right. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
It was within a half a degree.
Yeah, I mean the caster's really not off on that
No.
side.
Everything's good
Wow.
on it.
Yeah.
And
I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to send that out. 3 days later, he's like, look, I fixed it.
I fixed it.
I'm like, oh wow, how'd you get to do that so quick? And he's like, me.
I hit it really hard.
like I said before earlier today, the first implement that came out was a hammer.
He walked in and I'm lifting up the rear end of the project that I got going on, and I'm lifting it. I got it like 4 feet in the air. He's like, lift kit, huh? I'm like, yup.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Working on your vehicle.
I'm always working on something.
Number 2.
Park it in the corner of the shop
Yeah.
Let it sit.
Let it sit.
where it lives.
Hey,
I-
if you don't drive it, you never break it.
Well, so there you go. I mean, that is exactly why it sits in the corner of the shop.
I mean, really, Don was the only one out of us that, when we went wheeling that day, didn't break anything on his Jeep because it sat in the parking lot
Yes.
until it
didn't-
had to run.
You guys are
had to
figuring
go
out my secret.
hitch
I
back
didn't
to get it.
break anything. I just had to run back quickly and pour more fluids in it.
Oh, no. We're
that was
talking
the
about
steering.
when
it
you
was
broke
in
the
puddles.
sector shaft on
Oh,
the
yeah.
XJ.
That is
And then
true.
I
Yeah.
broke on the way back from the.
Yeah, the idler.
Well,
Yeah.
But there's a lot of truth to that. You
never take it out, you never break
it.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's
So-
been the story with my. Never mind.
You what?
If I never take it out, I never break it.
Yeah.
I never use
Your
it.
steering dampener.
steering something.
Yeah, that should be number 2 on my list.
Yeah.
Putting new steering
New
stabilizers on.
steering stabilizers on his Jeep.
If anybody has one laying around, let me know.
Or two.
I need free parts. It could be a stock one. I don't give a shit.
I mean,
I could blow it up anyway.
Literally the other day, I was
So the
thinking
one
I'm
that's
going to order
lasted the
one.
longest has been the factory one.
The one in the beginning, the very
Yes.
first one lasted the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally the other day had it up on a website. I was going to push buy, and I was like, why am I doing this? It'll just be broken the first time I go out. I'll be standing on Barney
Well,
Rubble.
Here's the thing: you're not the only one. You can peruse the trails and usually find a steering stabilizer up there laying.
Oh,
in
you
them.
can find a few.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, it's
I mean, our parts pile is pretty much ones that have been picked up at AOA.
That is true.
Yeah.
I pick one up at least once a trip.
yeah. I made the mistake because this particular one is one I stole out of
Literally, it
Lexi's.
was like 17
steering.
hours old.
Yeah,
Yeah. So now you have to get one for her. And one for
me.
you.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
So that was my number 2.
Terry's
We all
taking
have
up.
something. We all just, I mean,
Yeah.
there's just something we do. Mine's taillights. I back into trees religiously.
Yeah, and yours used to be U-joints.
Nail it. I have.
Axle stubs? No, not really. It's
No.
been pretty good lately.
It's still kind of U joints.
well, it's sort of keeping it on its tires lately.
No,
yeah.
I've been doing well. I don't know. It's usually just keeping it out of trees.
Trees are the. I hate trees.
Eating trees, the hood and
I
trees.
backed into a tree with it.
It happens.
You were like, "Don't worry about it." I swear to God, I back into everything. I
The thing
never.
doesn't back up, dude.
No, it's not just your G. It's like everything I drive out there because I
doesn't
don't,
back
I
up
don't know
well.
what the deal is. I don't do that anywhere else. But
Yeah.
when I'm in the woods, I think
Like,
I just. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to turn around and see what's behind me. Most likely it's a tree, so I'll just go ahead and hit it anyway.
Just go ahead and sacrifice that taillight
Yep.
to the taillight gods.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
I've broken 3 taillights.
Yeah, I've broken 3.
Yeah.
Well, actually, your buddy broke one of mine.
Well, and license plate holder.
Oh yeah, license plate holder was a
I've
part of
lost
that too.
count. I
Yeah.
don't really know. It's been a lot. I'm just
Back
thankful.
up into crap all the time in
Yeah,
that.
I'm just thankful I haven't bent the body yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was
I
looking
do-
at
I
those
do
Oracle
that.
lights. $20 says I could break one of those flush mount Oracles.
100%.
Yeah. Not that it's not a good quality light, but I just fuck shit up.
Yeah, right.
All right, I like washing my Jeep.
Oh,
kinda-
that's
I
good.
like
I
too.
enjoy washing it.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting up underneath of it with the pressure washer and
Yeah,
getting all
me
the
too.
crud off.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
I don't do it, but there's something to be said for that.
Getting all the grease off and everything, and then like re-greasing everything, and then making sweet love to it.
Billy's in the missionary position under his Jeep, just having that.
That in the missionary position.
All right, we've got a little off topic now.
Moving on.
Dr. Don, what do you like doing?
Oh, I have to agree with you. I do like cleaning my shit, and I like putting it back in the corner after it's clean.
At least can you
Can't
say like
get dirty if
camping?
you don't take it out.
Camping with your Jeep.
I like doing that. I like.
He likes getting the cheese out, the cheese and meat.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am a.
Oh yeah, you do bring out the charcuterie.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That is
Got
that
the
is
meat
my
and
deal.
cheese.
That's your
what
thing,
I
yep.
do.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
like
we've got friends that are really good at cooking, so I don't bother with that.
Yep.
We've got the mixed drinks friends. That's not my deal.
Yep.
And actually, that's Billy and I. And
That's
and I like
towards
doing
the end of the
cheese.
night.
Yeah, that's cheese and meat. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
And then
you
we
know?
eat the cheese and the meat to become constipated, so we don't go to the bathroom out on the trail the next day.
Right.
There you go. There you go.
Sometimes it gets so bad we start like to stop cutting the cheese. We just take bites right out of it.
Yep.
I do like overlanding.
Yeah.
That's a new thing for me. So that's in the past 2 or 3 years I really have kind of
Well, you went with Ron a
Yes.
couple times, and that
Yeah.
really solidified with Ridgeback.
and I like the people. I've gotten into the whole tread lightly, doing the stewardship
Yeah.
thing. I'm really into that right
Yeah.
now. I will say though, and I haven't really had my heart set on rock crawling in a while. Like maybe it's been a couple years
Yep,
since I've
yep.
really been into it. Probably right after we first
Yeah.
lifted it or put the bigger tires on it and regeared it. But after being in the buggy, yeah, I've kind of been like perusing for something along those lines.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's different. Like
It
you-
is a very different kind of wheeling.
It really is. Like it's and I think it certainly can be every bit, if not more technical than being in a Jeep JK 135s. But the lack of like worrying about totaling a vehicle
Yep,
out
yep.
is kind of nice and relieving. Like, and
Yep.
not that I spend a whole lot of time worrying about that, but I do. I mean, I want to try and preserve my vehicle, so I'm not beating the snot out of it most times. And
Right,
the
right.
and it's not that it wasn't my Jeep. It's just that that thing is just built for that. Like,
Yeah.
you
I was also sitting passenger. I'm like, yeah, go hit that tree. I don't give a shit. I'm like, see what it does.
do you want to go up that hill?
See what
Yes.
happens.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Do you want to crawl over that big rock? Yes.
Yeah.
Stop asking me. Just point
Just
the way.
do it. Just
Point the
go.
So it was. I could see myself doing that too at some
Yeah.
point. But with my Jeep, I'll stick to overlanding and a little bit of rock crawling.
Yeah. It's interesting because my number one thing I like to do with my Jeep is go camping.
Yeah.
I want to define my camping as I like to go to a campground
Okay.
and
Campground camping.
campground camping.
Yep.
Now, if that happens to be an overlanding trek where the guide takes me to a specific place that he has in mind for camping,
Right.
golden. Same thing. I'll roll
Yeah.
out and set up my camp. I'm not anymore a backpacker, like
Yeah.
drive my Jeep somewhere and hike however many miles on the
I
on
did a
the
3-day
latch.
canoe trip.
Ooh, that's
That
good.
would be cool.
Yeah, that's good.
It was cool, but everything was wet.
Yeah.
yeah.
It gets real old real
I
quick.
did that years ago.
The last night I was
Whitewater canoeing.
on one of
Yeah.
mine canoe trips. It rained so much.
And exactly, it wasn't wet from the actual fact that we were in canoes. Everything was in dry bags. It rained at night,
Yeah.
and everything we couldn't dry anything out because you got to put it back in the
Cut it.
dry bag, which
And
is
get back
just
in the boat,
And
yeah.
now it's
But that
So
I
it was
literally
just
I
soaked.
literally just took my tent poles out,
yeah,
wrapped it up, threw it in a bag, and that went straight to the garbage.
yeah.
Because everything leaked in. At one point, I was in my tent sitting on a 5-gallon, Home Depot bucket because actually that's a dry bag in itself.
Yeah.
And I took all my camera gear in that.
Yep.
But I was literally sitting on that in the middle of the tent in 3 inches of water, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is miserable. I don't ever want to do this again. I will do it a different way. And now my tent is much better than that
Mhm.
tent. But no, I love to camp in it, and I think that's. I love seeing pictures with my tent and people around, and in the background my Jeep
Mhm.
sitting there. So if it's in a campground full of people, I'm happy. If it's a single site by myself, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Just camping out of my tent and using my Jeep to get there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Cool.
my number one. So if you have something,
I got another one.
4 things.
Tailgating.
Yes.
That's a good
Tailgating out of the back of my Jeep because I always have the fridge set up, ready to go, the tailgate table down. I got all the, we set that shit up, man.
Yeah, man.
Like
Yeah.
full on chips, dip, drinks, this, that, and the other thing. I get the grill going. I'm a tailgater.
There's only one person I like to
The games.
tailgate out of their Jeep more than you, and that's Scott.
Well,
because
Scott
he has
brings
an
an
oven.
That's the
oven.
chuck wagon.
Yeah,
That's what we
right.
call that.
Yeah, it's great to be able to
Well,
open
I
it
do.
up.
He doesn't call it that, but I like.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, you bring the chips and the salsa.
I
and
bring
then-
everything.
I love it.
Yeah, you're very well equipped when we go and do things.
I try.
You
Yeah.
are. You definitely have earned that motto. Be prepared.
Heck yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, if you've got your things that you like to do, send them in to info@jeeplifepodcast.com, and maybe we'll read those on the air just like we have some of the stuff we did earlier in the episode.
Heck yeah.
Guys, it's always great to be sitting around the table with you.
Yeah, man. It
Talking
was good
Jeeps.
to get back in.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you here.
Yeah.
That was good. I didn't have expectations of you being here.
Can
I know you had said that you were going to be here, but it was
But we know how that goes. right?
Unreliable Don.
the text that said I'll be late. I was like, Don's
You-
going to be here.
Gonna be here.
It'll be worth
Yeah.
the wait.
There you
I
go.
love it.
Yeah.
All right. So how can people share us out there?
Well, you can tell a friend, or you can share us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcast on any platform, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, all the aboves. Listener voicemail. If you want to call in and be on the podcast, get your voice on 484-272-5436. Once again, 484-272-5436. If you want to call in and be on the podcast, you can do that. Also, make sure you subscribe, and stay up to date with all of our latest and
I
greatest.
have one question to answer real quick.
All
here.
right. Well, answer it. Yeah.
Josh Landry had in the comments
Yeah.
about doing a 3.5-inch lift. He currently has a 2.5-inch leveling kit. And he wants to run 37s. A good 2.5-inch lift kit on a Gladiator will certainly do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
37s.
That will do 37s.
Yeah, especially the Rubicon, because you can trim the fenders.
Yep.
They come with a little dotted line.
Yep. Those are ready to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, hope that helps, Josh.
All right. I'm going to shut us down, get us off the air. We appreciate everybody, especially our live listeners on Monday nights. Make sure you come check us out. So thank you, Dr. Don, for being here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love being here.
It's amazing. All right, for Dr. Don, Breaking Billy, I'm Jeep and Terry, and here's a big Jeep wave to you, everybody. 2. All right, everybody, thanks.
See ya later.
Later.